Welcome, this is the IM2 video lecture on area and perimeter and using polynomial expressions. The learning target is for you to understand how to apply polynomials in real life problems. The real life problems are going to be in your success criteria. One, you need to be able to construct the area of a figure using polynomial expressions, as well as constructing the perimeter of a figure using polynomial expressions. Let's review a 7th grade core concept, which is covering the perimeter and area. The perimeter, P, of a figure is the distance around the figure. So the perimeter of this square, notice they use the letter S because all the sides here are the same. If you walk around this square, you're going to have an S here, an S here, and S here. There are a total of 4 S's. That's why the perimeter is going to be 4S. If you would like to see that, it also looks like this. If you walk around that, that's an S, that's an S, that's an S, and this is an S. If you walk around a rectangle, you walk a length, then you go up a width, then you go up another length, then you go up another width. Here, you have 2 lengths plus 2 widths. That would be the perimeter. The area A of a figure is the space inside. So for the area of a square, it would be side squared because you're multiplying this side by this side. For a rectangle, it would be length times width. Okay? The length and the width are 2 different values. That's why it's length times width. But for a square, it's side square. Or, another way of just looking this, or you can write this as S times S. These are the same way. And an example is to find the perimeter and area of this figure. This is a rectangle. Length is 7 and the width is 5. So the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. The length here is going to be 7. The width here is 5. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 5 is 10. Together, they make 24. So the perimeter here is 24. That is the distance if you walk. 5 plus 7 plus 5 plus 7 plus 5. All together, they make 24 is the perimeter. Now we look at the area. The area is defined by length times width. So the length here is 5, the width here is 7. Length times width gets you 35. So this is the classic 7th grade problem on perimeter and area. Now we're going to extend this idea to this. It's the same shape, but now rather than have it as just a number, we have an expression, a polynomial. We have a variable and a number here. The perimeter is still the same. It's the same formula, twice the length plus twice the width. The length here is going to be x plus 7, and the width here is going to be x plus 2. Doesn't matter if you've changed them. All right, one of them is going to be length, the other one's going to be width. It doesn't matter which one you call which. Right? So now we have to multiply. So 2 times x and 2 times 7. This gets you 2x plus 14. Then you have 2 times x, which is 2x. Then you have 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay? Which should look something like that. Afterwards, you can start combining some like terms. Your like terms here are 2x plus 2x, or your x term. And then you have your 14 plus your 4. Together, 2x plus 2x gets you 4x. 14 plus 4 is your 18. So that is your perimeter. The area, same formula from before. The area is length times width. So now it's a multiplication. So we are going to distribute x times x, gets you x squared. X times 2 is your 2x. Then you have your bottom. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 2 is 14. There's some like terms that you have. 2x and 7x makes 9x. Everything else stays the same. There you go. Notice that the perimeter is still going to be a degree 1. But the area is going to be a degree 2. The area is technically a higher degree than the perimeter. So here's the core concept if you would like to see it. This is what you need to be able to do. Find the perimeter, then find the area. Alright, let's look at some practice problems here. They're going to ask you to find the area and then the perimeter. So let's just label this. This is the length. Here, I could label this the length. And I could label this the width. Alright, so let's get perimeter going. So perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. Right? So twice the length. So 2 parentheses n plus 5 is the length, plus 2 parentheses n plus 4 is the width. Now we distribute. 2 times n is 2n. 2 times 5 is 10. Then we add 2 times n, which is 2n, and 2 times 4, which is 8. Together, you have 2n plus 2n gets you 4n. 10 plus 8 gets you 18. That is the perimeter. Let's look at the area. The area is just length times width, which is just going to be equal to n plus 5 times n plus 4. Let's distribute. N times n gets you n squared. N times 4 gets you 4n. Then we do it to the bottom. 5 times n is 5n. 5 times 4 is 20. We can combine some like terms. 4n plus 5n gets you 9n. Bring everything else down. This would be the area. Notice the perimeter here is degree 1. The area will always be a degree 2. Let's do number 2. Let's find the length is n minus 6. Your width is going to be 2n times 2n plus 4. The perimeter formula is going to be twice the length plus twice the width. Make that substitution. 2, the length is going to be n minus 6 plus 2 times the width, which is 2n plus 4. Let's distribute. 2 times n gets you 2n. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. 2 times 2n gets you 4n. And 2 times 4 gets you 8. Combine some like terms. We have 2n plus 4n gets us 6n. Negative 12 plus 8 gets us 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Negative 4. This would be the perimeter. Let's look at the area. The area is length times width. So it would be n minus 6 times 2n plus 4. Let's distribute, because that's what happens when we multiply our polynomials. N times 2n gets us 2n squared. N times 4 gets us 4n. Then we have our bottom. Negative 6 times 2n gets us negative 12n. Negative 6 times 4 gets us negative 24. Let's add this all together. 2n squared. 4n minus 12n gets you negative 8n. Then bring down the negative 24 as well. Okay? Again, you've seen adding polynomials and multiplying polynomials before. Okay? We just have to understand that you add when you find the perimeter, right? 2L plus 2W, and you multiply the length times width for the area. Let's try 3 and 4. Start by labeling the length and the width. Perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width. Twice the length, 2x minus 2, plus twice the width, 2x plus 8. Okay, let's distribute. 2 times 2x gets you 4x. 2 times negative 2 gets you negative 4. Plus 2 times x gets you 2x. And 2 times 8 is plus 16. Combine some like terms. 4x plus 2x is one of them. Plus negative 4 plus 16 is the other. 4x plus 2x gets you 6x. Negative 4 plus 16 gets you positive 12. Let's find the area. Length times width. The length is 2x minus 2. The width here is going to be x plus 8. We have to distribute because that's what happens when we multiply the polynomials. 2x times x gets you 2x squared. 2x times 8 is 16x. Then we have to distribute the second term, which is negative 2. Negative 2 times x gets you negative 2x. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Now you can combine some like terms. 16x plus 16x minus 12x gets you 14x. Bring down everything else. Bring down the 2x squared and bring down the minus 16. That would be the area. Let's do 4. Length is w minus 3. The width would be w minus 10. Perimeter, twice the length plus twice the width. Twice the length. The length here is w minus 3. Twice the width would be w minus 10. Distribute. 2 times w is 2w. 2 times 3 is negative 6. 2 times w is 2w. And 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. We can now combine some like terms. The 2w is going to be added to the other 2w plus negative 6 minus 20. 2w plus 2w, that gets you 4w plus negative 6 minus negative 20. Negative 26. So you could write this as 4w minus 26 if you would like as the perimeter. Let's look over the area. The area is length times width. The length here is w minus 3 and the width is w minus 10. We're going to distribute. W times w gets you w squared. W times negative 10 gets you negative 10w. Then let's do the bottom. Negative 3 times w gets you negative 3w. Negative 3 times negative 10 gets you positive 30. There's some like terms you can combine. Negative 10w minus 3w gets you negative 13w. You have w squared here minus 13w plus 30. Right? Good. Let's now take a look at the next one, which is going over the perimeter and area of a square. The perimeter of this figure is defined in the formula as perimeter equals 4 times the side. The side here is x plus 3. If you distribute, 4 times x gets you 4x, and 4 times 3 will get you 12. The perimeter, the area now. The area is going to be the side squared. So the side here is x plus 2, and we're going to square that. X plus 3, this should be x plus 3, yeah. Okay. Now, what is x plus 3 squared? That's mean x plus 3 times x plus 3. Okay. If we do the distributive property, you get that. X times x gets you x squared. X times 3 gets you 3x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 3 is 9. Combine the like terms. 3x plus 3x gets you 6x. Notice it's the same thing as before. You just have to make sure you're using the right equation when you plug it in. Alright, so this is a core concept if you would like to copy anything down. Now let's go over the answer, or the practice. Here they ask you to find the perimeter, then area. Also here it asks you to find the leading coefficient, degree, and constant term if you would like to do that as well. Let's go over the perimeter first. So this is the side. So the perimeter is 4 times the side. Okay, so it's going to be 4 times n plus 5. 4 times n is 4n, and 4 times 5 is 20. You are done. This is the perimeter. The area here is going to be n plus 5. So the formula is side squared. Okay, so n plus 5 is the side, you square that. So the area is n plus 5 times n plus 5. N times n, oh, let me change color so you can see the distributive property done correctly. N times n is going to be n squared. N times 5 is 5n. Then we move on to the next term, which is 5. 5 times n is 5n, and 5 times 5 is 25. If you combine the like terms, 5n plus 5n gets you 10n. Bring down the n squared plus the 25. So that's the perimeter for n plus 20. The area is n squared plus 10n plus 25. Notice the area is always a higher degree. Let's do this one. The side is equal to 2n plus 4. So the perimeter is 4 times the side. So 4 times 2n plus 4. Distribute. 4 times 2n gets you 8n. 4 times 4 it gets you 16. Let's find the area. The area equals to side squared. Side is 2n plus 4. We squared that. So that means it's 2n plus 4 times 2n plus 4. Alright, distribute. (2n) times 2n gets you 4n squared. 2n times 4 gets you 8n. Four times 2n gets you 8n, and 4 times 4 gets you 16. There are some like terms you can combine. The 8n and the 8n becomes 16n. Nothing happens to the 16, bring it down from the top, and nothing happens to the 4n squared. So that would be your area of this square. Let's do practice 2. Right? Let's do practice 2. The side here is equal to 2x minus 1. This is a square, so the perimeter for a square is 4 times the side. Plug it in. S for the side is 2x minus 1. Do the distributive property. 4 times 2x gets you 8x. 4 times negative 1 gets you negative 4. That is what the perimeter is. The area is going to be side squared. The side here is 2x minus 1. Make sure we square that, so that becomes 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. We can now do the distributive property. 2x minus 2x gets you 4x squared. 2x minus negative 1 gets you negative 2x. Next, you have your negative 1 times 2x. Negative 1 times 2x gets you negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1 gets you positive 1. Combine some like terms. Negative 2x plus 2x gets you negative 4x. Nothing happens to the rest, so bring down the 4x squared and bring down the plus 1. Okay? So the area is equal to 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. Let's do number 4. The perimeter, the side here is equal to x minus 6. The perimeter is going to be 4 times the side. The side is x minus 6. That's what happens when we substitute. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Right, yep. So that is the perimeter. The area is side squared. Your side here is x minus 6 squared. What does this look like? This is x minus 6 times x minus 6. That's the area. Now we multiply. We distributive property. X minus x gets you x squared. X minus negative 6 is negative 6x. Then you have the bottom. Negative 6 times x gets you negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. There's some like terms you can combine. Negative 6x plus 6x gets you negative 12x. Bring everything else down. X squared minus 12x. Bring down the plus 36. So this is how you find the area and perimeter of a square.